Hello again, Struck Corp. Welcome back to another evening of streaming. Today I'm starting earlier than yesterday. I'm still starting late, but yeah, I still uploaded some videos, some content, and took a while. But at least I'm starting 2 hours earlier than yesterday, 2 and 20 minutes. So we've got a lot of time today. Well, we've got what, three and a half hours, so that's not so bad. We've got some time today to do some grinding, and I decided today to try co-op because yesterday after my stream ended I played co-op with one of the viewers, one of the Struckweb people, and I got so many legendaries helping him in his Act 1 and 2 story. I was doing the end of Act 1 and the beginning and middle of Act 2 with him for like 3 hours, and I got a bunch of legendaries. Yes, Wobby legendaries, but they still unlocked some legendary slots for me, such as the Infectious Shooter. So I'm thinking that they've not fixed the drop rates for the Fazeer and for the Mapworks as much, but the drop rates for the story zones seem to be very good. And I'm wondering if I should go and farm some Wobby items. The thing is, I need some level 60 items. I need Bone Razor, Bone Blocker, which I think are level 60 items. I'm pretty sure the Bone Blocker wasn't, but maybe they made the Bone Razor because I've not seen it before 60 so far. So here's a bunch of legendaries I got, like 2 Storm Drivers, 17, 19, Life of Leadership 19, this one at 21, this one at 22, this one at 17. So that's like 6 legendaries I got yesterday, and I also got this one, and this one, and this one. So I did get some things. I did get some things yesterday. Okay, so let's equip this scepter now. Let's put the pistol somewhere. I'm gonna put this over there. What's my damage? Electric. And I'm using fire. When I have money I can probably change that to electric at the bottom. But yeah, if you want co-op, hit me up and we can play together. Why I'm not playing targeted strikes? Because I've already got the build for targeted strikes. I want to do things differently. Electrified Sharpshooter is the targeted strikes version. This one is the Electrode version with Onslaught. So what I'm missing for now is the goblins. I want to replace Lightning Barrier with goblins. Before I can do that, I need 3 pieces of the Musketeer set. I need the chest in the Legendarium, which would mean I'm probably gonna suffer from. I would probably consider wearing the chest. I would consider wearing the chest so I can have room in the Legendarium for Bone Razor, for Infectious Shooter, and for the Rifle of Leadership. And that would mean I'd rather wear the Musketeer chest instead of wearing the Bone Razor. But I need still to get the Bone Razor, the Bone Blocker, and I need to get 3 pieces of the Musketeer set, and that are decent level, worth wearing. So for now, what should I do? Let's start with the Porto. With the Goldwork Porto. If anyone wants to join me, let me know and I can invite you. As for which one is better, it's clearly targeted strikes. Targeted strikes gives you a lot of range. I mean, right now I think targeted strikes and explosive arrow in a very good place. Tight grouping got nerfed unreasonably because I felt tight grouping was a little bit weaker than targeted strikes, yet it still got a nerf, like 20% nerf. So I'm not sure what was happening there to warrant this nerf for tight grouping. Maybe it's the tier 3 bonus, maybe the tier 3 bonus is too good and they felt like it needed a nerf. But in any case, I think Onslaught right now is not that bad. It's not that bad, it's just it could use increase in the range. I think the DPS is not what this is so strong for. It's more about it's more about it's good for proccing things, although so is targeted strikes. Targeted strikes is also good for proccing things. But I think Onslaught is weak in one department, and that's its very close range. How far you need to be from the middle of the circle to cast it. If they increase its range by 2, like let's say I can cast Onslaught over here, you can see that's the middle. I should be able to, and this is a bad way to show it, because I need to show you properly. I'm gonna show it later, but yeah, I would rather see this distance increase. So if I can cast it here, and this is the middle, I should be able to cast it around here, and this should be the middle of Onslaught. The other skills have very nice range, and by this skill having such a short range, it puts you into danger. It puts you closer to the enemies and leaves you a little bit more vulnerable to attacks. So you just gotta be careful with Onslaught, but it's not a bad skill. It's much better than it used to be. And at least they've allowed us to get percent damage to Onslaught, which was missing before. So that's at least one thing that lets us become a little bit stronger with Onslaught, but I still prefer targeted strikes. But again, I wanted to make this a different build than my Electrified instead of copy-pasting my old work. I'd rather do something new. This will be a summoner build. After the summoner build I will transform it into a basic attack build, and both the summoner and the basic attack builds would have build videos and build guides on my website for them. So it's just gonna take a while until I get the items I need. I probably should start farming low level stuff, but the thing is I strongly suspect that the Bone Razor is a level 60 plus item, and that means I'm gonna need to farm level 60 stuff for it. We'll see, but the best thing is to farm in a group. The more people you have in the group, the more champions I think. Of course the harder the game gets, but the better the chances of getting items, because first, if you have 2 people or more in a team, everyone gets 15% gear work as long as you're in the same map. And then again there's more champion spawns when you have a team, so more champion spawns and more gear work results of course in finding more items, which results in finding more legendaries. That's why today I would like to team up with whoever wants to. As for best build at the moment, I don't know. I need to test every build to know which is the best build. Unless I test 160 builds, I'm not gonna be able to tell you which one is the best. and I never test the builds enough. By the time I reach like stage 30 of the Fazir, I say okay, that's good for me, and I stop and I move on to the next build. For this one I'm just farming, and the drop rates are just very bad to me when it comes to level 60 items, and I just can't complete this build until I get those items. I keep getting the same items over and over again. I've gotten Musketeer Shoulders 3 times, I've gotten Storm Driver 2 times, I've gotten 1 Lil Draco, 1 Infectious Shooter, and Skittering Boots 1 time. Yesterday I got a bunch of low level items like level 16, 17, 20, 20 something, and it wasn't bad, but yeah, it was giving me the same items. But I still got upgrades. The biggest upgrade for me is this. You see those poison projectiles? Each of those projectiles can trigger procs. So this Infectious Shooter is a huge DPS boost for Electrode Lightning Strike builds. And this may not be like my Electrified Sharpshooter, but it's still kind of very close to it. By the way, I forgot to thank 2 people who followed me while I was offline. Scram Slam and Cosmic Chaos, both of them followed me on Twitch. Thank you for that. And Zericus is back. Hello, Zericus. And you're saying hugs to Sky. If I see him, I think he's staying a lot in the other room nowadays. That there's all sorts of people at home, and he stays there sometimes. But yeah, if I see him, I'm gonna give him some hugs. And Vitoxin, you can join me after this map. And Row1E, thank you as well for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate it. So after this map, you can join me. Just a moment. Here's my Steam friend code. And I, by the way, wrote a review of the game on Steam. I just uploaded today my review as a video on my YouTube channel. And to those of you who need some information about the caps, like crit chance, block chance, evasion, crit damage, and damage reduction, I uploaded a smaller guide for that. Tomorrow there's gonna be some sort of content. I still have some things that I haven't made. Such as how to choose your destiny in the game, and another one which I don't want to review until until I've done it, because you never know who's listening and watching. But yeah, there's a few things I want to make. You're having a tough time leveling your Disc Mage Electrode on Ridiculous, dealing no damage. Well, what level is your Disc Mage? And Zericus says, I wish the genie had more dialogue options. Yeah, that's understandable. So, Vibes, what level is your Disc Mage and what skills did you spec into? I think you can have a much easier time if you focus on Chaotic Strikes and Lightning Strike on the Disc Mage. You don't have to put too many points into other things. Let me try and open a Disc Mage build. Build thumbnails. Build thumbnails. No, not build thumbnails. I need screenshots. Screenshots. Torchlight 3 early access. Disc Mage builds. And Absolving Zealot, for example. So let's look at this Absolving Zealot. The way you might want to level up something like this, let me check if you're seeing it. Yeah, you're seeing it. The way you might level something like this is, you might want to put points into Chaotic Strikes, which would be this or this here. You might want to put Chaotic Strikes, and you might want to get as soon as possible Lightning Strike. You would want Lightning Strike as soon as you can. So even if you put, for example, 1 point or 3 points or 4 points into Holy Bolt, the way I would do it is, I would try to get 1 point Dark Spears. I would try to get 3 points into this while leveling up. And try to get maybe 1 point into this. And maybe 1 point into this, 1 point into this as I'm leveling up. And while leveling up a Disc Mage with the Electrode, I would put my points here and here until I unlock Entropy or Absolver or both, and then put points into them. In fact, I would put 1 point here, 1 point here, and that would be enough until I get high enough level. And 1 point into this would be a great boost for you. This one you shouldn't level up until you're ready to put 10 points. You don't benefit on a caster build until this is level 10. Once this is level 10, you really start seeing the benefit of that extra 25% casting speed. But this one, even at 1 point, gives you 50% casting speed, which is a huge boost. So yeah, while leveling this up, you can just focus on Chaotic Strikes, max it out, get this one maxed out, and you really need the Celestial Gauntlets. Dusk mages don't become really strong until they get the Celestial Gauntlets and combine them with 2 more pieces of the Celestial set. And by the way, who wanted to join me? Let me remove that image here. The first Electrode spell is not bad, but on a Dusk Mage it's not gonna give you decent damage, and you wanna be doing some damage. You wanna be bursting, and Chaotic Strikes is the easy way to get some burst damage, especially if you save your relic energy for 100 and then you dump all that energy into spamming multiple Chaotic Strikes. You're gonna see the damage piling up. So Vitoxin. If you want to join me again, here's my Steam code. Feel free to add me and let me know when you've added me. In the meantime, I'm probably gonna do another map. Oh, I need to collect some resources here. Okay, nice. I've got my shared stash tabs. There we go. But yeah, to those of you who are having trouble leveling any Electrode build, Chaotic Strikes, Lightning Strike. Those 2 things are perfect for when leveling up. 1 point into a Vocalized Storm is enough. 1 point in any damage skill of the class in most cases could be enough, depending on the hero. I've leveled Electrode builds on all 4 classes with Chaotic Strikes and it works. Even after later moving the points from Chaotic Strikes into something else, it was nice to level up with those points into Chaotic Strikes. Of course, if you have a Sharpshooter, 1 point into targeted strikes is very strong, let alone 3 or 6 or more. It seems like in the Fazir's dungeon it's dropping a lot of legendary recipes and in map works, whereas if you do the story mode zones, the low level story mode zones, you will see a lot of regular legendary drops. Like yesterday, as I said, within 3 hours of helping 1 person from the Struck Club, I was helping him do his story. On my level 6 hero, I got like 7 or 8 items for like 3 hours. Which was good, which was more than I would like to get. I was actually surprised what was happening. 2 of the items were back to back, like getting 1 item, then moving to the next bunch of champions and getting the second one within like 3 minutes time. And that was like level 17, 20 items. So go to Acrid Plains and start farming. Start farming if you need items for your legendarium that are not level 60. Acrid Plains probably is a great place. Buckswat Burrow is also not a bad place. My Steam name is Struck, and I just saw your friend invitation, if that was you. My Steam name is Struck and there's a person getting hit by a lightning coming from a cloud. Pixel art or something like that as the icon. Alright, I see you. I see you've added me. I'm just gonna quickly put my Steam in offline and then back online, so I can actually see you on my online list. Sometimes it just wags out before showing me someone who is a new person. Alright, I'm still not seeing you. Do you see me online? If you see me online, actually, oh yeah, I see you. I see you. Well, you can try and invite me from within the game. There we go. And try to travel to me. Try to join my map. Press Z or whatever your portal is, and press this button here. If you're high level, if you're not high level, I can port to you. But even if you port to me, I can try and keep you alive. You can just stay back while I finish this map. I can just rush this map. And then we can do whatever level content. Oh, you're 54. You should be more than fine in this map. $54 is definitely fine for you at 60 map. Just try to not get hit much and you should be okay. You're gonna see the difference when playing together. The extra gear work, if you've got gear work in your inventory. By the way, we can try farming gear worky fuzzier maps. Gear worky fuzzier maps will give us 50% gear work. We get 20 from ridiculous, that's 70. And by playing in a team, that's another 15, so that's 85 gear work. So we will only need 15% more gear work from items to max it out. The thing is, there's not always level 60 gear worky fuzzier maps for me. I wouldn't mind helping you push your own fuzzier runs, whichever stage you've reached. And if you see gear worky maps, you can probably select those, and we can run those if they're on your way. Again, today I'm free to help people. While one person has me helping him, it won't be bad to get 2 more people. Or 1 more person in the team,
that spell can't be cast.
So we can stack up the full team. But the thing is, I can only help 1 person at a time, so if I'm helping another person, whoever else joins would also be helping that person, unless you're in the same progress. The thing is, once you're completing your fuzzier, the other person is not completing their own. So if, for example, there's 2 people, one at level 5 fuzzier, the other at stage 10, and we do the stage 10 maps, the stage 5 ones will not get completed.
You can't cast that spell here.
Let's see if we got anything. I wanna see my gear work now. 37, excluding the 20 from the difficulty, I think. Or maybe that's with the 20 from the difficulty. Let's see if I've missed some comments. I might have missed some comments. And Vibe says, thank you for the comment. I've been playing on single player. Sadly, my region don't have a server, so it's really laggy. Well, yeah, I can understand that. See, that's why single player is good for people who are from regions that are far from the servers. At least you can enjoy the game on single player with fast loading times and no rubber banding. And yeah, that's pretty decent. What weapon do you use for Dusk Mage? Whatever I get. Unless a weapon doesn't matter unless you go for basic attack builds. What matters is what type of weapon you use. Two-handed, one-handed, with shield, or one-handed with focus. So Vitoxin, if you want, go to your fort, and we can do your own Fazier. Help you push your Fazier further. And hopefully you get Gearwalkie maps. If you find any Gearwalkie maps, you can just run those. I'm teleporting to your fort. Oh, you've leveled up your tree. Might as well give you some item there for it. Just so I can get the Gearwork bonus. Oh, he's already made a portal. Is that the dungeon portal that we need to go in? You can use the in-game chat, by the way. With tap, pressing tap, enter and tap switches the chat, and you can also type /P to switch to that. And yeah, hopefully they release content that can be played both in single player and multiplayer whenever they do release new content. It makes sense.
Your pet is back.
Yeah, just let's push you further. I wouldn't mind pushing you to whatever you want. Maybe this is the one he needs to do. Cause yeah, we can stack all that work, the adventurer's work, with maps with Gearwalkie, and if you use the Gearwalk 3, you can get even more Gearwalk based on what item you've put. I think he's ported. I'm making sure I'm porting after him. And someone just subscribed to my channel. Thank you, Mickey R. If you are watching, thank you very much. Subscribing to my YouTube channel. By the way, are we in the same map? I don't see him. Vitoxin. Okay, let's try. I can't teleport to Vitoxin. Alright, I'm gonna... I think there were two portals and I entered the wrong portal, but stay there, I'm gonna join... I'm gonna join by teleporting to you. That should do the trick. Bugs. Okay, that's where he is. Arc power boots, nice. That's a really Quarian map. Oh, he's using the Heartseeker proc, nice. Or maybe it's an active Heartseeker. In any case, seeing some Heartseekers along with his targeted strikes. Or maybe that's strong targeted strike. It looks a little bit like Heartseeker. But yeah, it's nice to have someone with targeted strikes, very good for single target bursting or straight line AoE. And it's not that difficult to group up the enemies for straight line AoE. In fact, most of the time I will be lined up pretty nicely for targeted strikes. Which is why it's such a nice skill, where grouping them up for onslaught is a little bit trickier, especially if you're using sacrifice to goose. And I don't see why you wouldn't be using sacrifice to goose. I mean, there's some certain weird build cases where I've suggested to avoid using sacrifice to goose to get some. Wow, look at that, 2 legendaries. Okay, co-op. The drop rates definitely nice. I still need to get level 60 items though. Those items I'm getting are level 54s. But they're unlocking stuff in the Legendarium for me, so it's not bad. Wait, I didn't even see what hit me. There were so many AoEs on the floor, I guess there was a bomb that I didn't... Oh, it could have been the shaman. The shaman's bolt could have hit me. Arc-powered boots are not a bad choice. In fact, I might equip those. Did they have a socket? No. They go well if I've got bok chance. My bok chance is 40% when I use my buff. But yeah, co-op is the way to farm right now. You got more champions spawning, you've got that extra gear work. You can use each other's tree of work to get that buff for a few seconds. I really wish they would make the monument buffs longer. They should make them at least 600 or even 900 seconds. 600 seconds I think is a reasonable duration, although 900 would be perfect. And then you use a legendary that you don't need, or a blue item you don't need, drop it into someone else's tree of work. You go into a gear worky map as a team, and you're already capped at gear work, just from those things, from the adventurous work, from the tree of work, and from the gear worky and the ridiculous bonus. Phew, almost died. Am I missing any messages? Oh no, I haven't. Okay. Oh, okay. Egg of Mayhem, nice. So far, 3 legendaries this map. I'm not sure what's happening, but I like it. By the way, yesterday I got 71 skill points. Of course, after that it disappeared. But if I spent that 71st skill point, I probably could have kept it. I did report it, and I did tell the developers to PM me if they want more information about how this might have happened. But yeah, I'm not gonna say how. I'm not gonna say how so people don't exploit this. But yeah, it was weird. Bone blocker, nice. Please tell me it's something I can use. It's not bad, I can actually use this. So now I just need a bone razor, and I'm not sure whether it's a level 60 drop, but we'll see about that. Let's see. So this one would give me less defense than the one I've got right now. Unless I'm doing an electric map, but I'm gonna get the skeletons. That was actually a very impressive map. I've never seen so many drops in a single map run. I'm not sure what's happening, but okay. I'm not gonna complain about this. Let's go here. So yeah, I'm just gonna need the bone razor. I'm ready for the next map, by the way. And Chao Molinari says, is this actually the sharpshooter? Looks like a mage by the skills used. Interesting. Yes, it is sharpshooter. Do you mean this skill? This skill is with the infectious shooter. This skill is modified to burn from the Leo Drake, and the Storm Driver does this lightning. This lightning. This lightning. This lightning. See, this lightning every 1 second is from the Storm Driver. This is not my final form. It is not the final setup for this build. This one and this one I will replace with Bone Razor and Rifle of Leadership. I just need some Musketeer items, and once I get Musketeer items, I'm getting 12 more skill points. And with those 12 more skill points, I will get Goblin Legion, replace my Lightning Barrier with Goblin Legion, and make a Stormcover Summoner, whatever you want to call it, Electric Summoner build. For now, I think the best way to call it would be a Stormcover Summoner. At the moment the build is still not a summoner, because again I'm waiting to get the final item I need. Just one more item is needed, the Bone Razor. Once I get the Bone Razor, and I will be ready to try and attempt doing it. I still need three set items, armors, which would be the Musketeer helmet, the Musketeer chest, and whatever else. The Musketeer gloves would be perfect for those extra 2 summons. So if I get those, the Musketeer gloves, helmet and chest, along with the what's its name, the Bone Razor, I would be ready to test this build and to see if it's better than my electrified sharpshooter. Keep in mind, both of us are Electrode Sharpshooters from what I'm seeing. So we're doing extra shocking, extra zaps. But again, this game in multiplayer, it's just more rewarding when you play it in multiplayer. And let's see if I've missed some more messages. How do you like the onslaught as opposed to targeted strikes? I would say onslaught is more risky. Onslaught puts you in danger. Targeted strikes you can spam from afar. Onslaught requires you to be a little bit closer. But onslaught you can let it be and just run away. You can do a hit and run tactic. You can spam a bunch of onslaughts. So it's not as strong as targeted strikes, but it's not a bad skill. It just needs an increase of the range. I think if they increase the range of onslaught by like 60, 70, 80, maybe even 100% increased range, and I'm not talking about the radius, just how far your target can be, because I'm gonna show you after we kill those enemies what I'm talking about. You probably noticed it yourself, but let's say I'm standing here and I want to cast onslaught there. Do you see where onslaught is being cast? Instead of where my cursor is, it's actually casting where V-Toxin is. So V-Toxin is exactly where the center of onslaught will be when I cast it. And I would like for this to change to at least over there where my cursor is. So over here. But yeah, that's the one thing I think onslaught needs right now. It doesn't need more damage, because it's not supposed to be the thing that does super shit tons of damage per hit, because it does a lot of hits and it stays for quite some time and it has those explosions. But the range puts you in danger, and to level up with onslaught is painful. You're better off leveling with targeted strikes. But it's not a bad skill. It used to be much shittier, believe me. I used to have an onslaught summoner build, my first build. Actually it was my second build maybe. Can't remember if it was the first or second after early access. I kept revisiting onslaught every now and then. And with my final revisit a few days ago, I actually enjoyed it and decided to try and level up with it. And yes, I do have a guide for almost the same build, 90% same. The Electrode Sharpshooter. Just a moment, builds. In fact, this build right now is missing key components, it's missing key set items. So right now I've got 12 less skill points because I'm not wearing musketeer items, because I haven't found enough of those at high level to make me wanna wear them. So this is still a work in progress, but when I make it a summoner build it will be pretty decent. And if anyone else wants to join us around this level, you can see we're doing level 55 content, and soon we will be at level 60 for V-Toxin. I'm just helping him push his Fazir dungeon. After berserking we would probably be doing the double HP, and DPS would be needed there. 2 people is definitely better than 1. Even though the enemies become stronger, you buff each other, you stack different debuffs on the enemies, you stack different procs. And the wood is better. I'm not sure how I got 5 legendary items in the last map, or was it 4? It was a few. Didn't count them all, but it was a few. It was Shasta's item and at least 2 or 3 more. And it wasn't even a Gearwalkie map from what I've seen on the modifier before. Unless I... this one for example is a Scrollwalkie, Wivebound Scrollwalkie. That's what we are doing right now. The Infectious Shooter is amazing though. It's such a huge DPS boost for Electrode Lightning Strike builds with the Sharpshooter. The same goes for if you're playing a dusk match with the Electrode and you're using Entropy. Molten Reach has the same effect as Entropy, but double. So it gives you orange projectiles like the Entropy projectiles, so it doubles the number. So the same way this one, Scout's Bones, shoots projectiles, you would have something similar with the Entropy Molten Reach. But Molten Reach only drops after level 60. And you won't be able to get it while leveling up. Which I don't understand really why Molten Reach and few other items need to only drop after level 60. And the weirdest part is even Michael, who is in charge of items, didn't know they made this change. When I brought it up on Monday. Um, so I'm hoping they would reconsider those changes, making certain items only drop at certain levels.
You can't cast that spell here.
Okay, there we go. But yeah, the closest thing I've got to this build is the Electrified Sharpshooter, but if you start Electrified Sharpshooter, again level it up in a different way. I'm gonna make some guides for various things, and every single one of my builds will have at the bottom additional section, which would be how to level up. I'm just I've got a backlog. I've got a queue of content I want to make before I can focus on updating the old content with new things. But I will add suggestions on how to level up each build, and it's not gonna be just one way of how to level up, but two ways. How to level up the build if you wanna keep this build without respecking, and how to level it up if I think there's a more effective way. For example, for this build, the more effective way to level it up would be targeted strikes, chaotic strikes, and lightning strike. Especially chaotic strikes maxed out and this maxed out, and eventually later switching the points, removing the points and changing the build. By the way, I'm ready. Ready when you are. Here, let's do this. And let's see if I've missed some comments. Gerardo says game is getting bad reviews. Yeah, game is getting bad reviews, and I expected this because people expect this game to beat Torchlight 1 and 2. They expect a copy-paste with better graphics. Well, you're not gonna get a copy-paste of a Diablo or a Torchlight with better graphics. They're doing things differently, and when you're experimenting and pioneering new things, people won't like them because people are too used to their old way of playing things.
Can't do that here.
I would disagree that this game is worse than Torchlight 2. I enjoy playing this more than Torchlight 2. I have Torchlight 2, I have mods, I have synergies, I have a bunch of other mods, and I just enjoy playing this game more than Torchlight 2. I wouldn't have spent that much time playing this game if I didn't enjoy it. Even when it only had 2 classes, even when it was in alpha, I still enjoyed some of the things, some of the freedom that this game gives me a lot more. But again, people like different things. I never expected this game to have as big of an audience as Wolfsen had on its launch week, because first of all it's cartoony. So that thing aside, people who like cartoony games have played Torchlight 1 and 2 most likely, and those have expectations. Those have two unrealistic expectations of this game being a clone of Torchlight 1 and 2. And they're obviously gonna get disappointed. And I like the skill system so much more than the skill system in Torchlight 2. I like the enchanting system more, but I think the enchanting system really needs rework and update. But I didn't like Torchlight 2's enchanting because it was very, very bad RNG, it was very punishing, and I didn't like that thing there. But the itemization system in Torchlight 2 seemed a little bit more interesting. With some of those items that you can get stronger by killing certain types of enemies. I did enjoy this part, But again, I think with the Legendarium and with legendary items the way they are and sets the way they are in this game, I really love it. On first glance, if you just look on the surface and not beneath the surface, this game looks like a cheap, incomplete game. But if you look beneath the surface and dig deep, you're gonna see all the depth. You're gonna see all the depth. You're gonna see how much potential certain things have, and you're gonna see some of the balances, of course, obviously some of the disbalances, but certain things are very well designed, where other things just have a good base, good foundation, but are just bare bones, such as the pet system. It has a good foundation, but it's bare bones. The enchanting system, again, it has a very good foundation, the way it's designed, but it's bare bones. It needs more things that we can do with enchanting. I've uploaded almost an hour-long review, 50-something minutes review, where I'm talking about certain things, and yeah, that's my thoughts of the game. I expected this game to get a lot of bad reviews. Well, not a lot, I expected to get several bad reviews from people who are just fanboys of Torchlight 1 and 2 and of Diablo 3 and of Path of Exile. I expected fanboys of different game to not like this because it's not their game. And yeah, I mean, you can't expect one game to be like others and then be disappointed because it's not, when it's trying to do something unique and different. The one problem I have with this game is the endgame variety or lack of such. And the developers are already saying that they have something soon to reveal. So maybe in 2-3 weeks we can see some sort of a review of what the next endgame would be. Like a work in progress, maybe screenshots, maybe some footage, we'll see. They're saying that something endgame related will be getting revealed soon, that they're working on endgame related stuff. Because that's what keeps games like this alive. If you want people to keep returning to your game after every update, you have to give them something new to do, and you have to keep adding different activities. Just look at Grim Dawn. Grim Dawn is the perfect example of a premium game that's not gaming as a service, that is doing buy the game, then buy big expansions that add new acts and new classes and subclasses and so on. As the game kept growing, they kept adding different types of activities. So in Grim Dawn you have Crucible as a standalone DLC, you've got roguelike dungeons like Bastion of Chaos, Steps of Torment, Port Valbury, and the other ones I keep forgetting the names. You have nemesis enemies you can hunt for in the regular zones and just try to find where they're located. You've got the Rifting, which is the Shattered Realms. You've got Uber bosses and some secret bosses like the Ravager, Avatar of Mudgrogan. I mean, Grim Dawn is the perfect example of how a game with this model, with this payment model, buy the game and then pay for expansions, big expansions, and in between get free DLC updates. Thank you very much for the subscribe on my channel to Heli Melzoni. I need to find a way how I can get those notifications without switching to my OBS to see what went on the screen. I can see the Twitch notifications from stream elements, but since I'm restreaming, it's not showing me the YouTube ones. But thank you, really appreciate the help in growing my channel. And thank you to everyone who's watching on Twitch as well. Twitch, YouTube, regardless on which of the two platforms. I love you guys watching me and being here. And by the way, don't forget about the raffle. I've got a giveaway. I'm finally able to give back to my community thanks to Ector Games. I participated in a contest, creator contest, to make a 60 seconds video about the game. and they gave me a reward 3 keys to give away. So there's a few hours left. I'm gonna check the exact hours. There's 26 hours left. 26, I think it's 26 and a half actually hours left until the giveaway. So Friday evening, 2.5 hours from now, I will be giving away those keys. Even if you're not there at the moment of giving away, I would still give you a few days to claim your key to whoever wins. There's gonna be 3 winners, 1 key each. And there should be announced on the page once everything has been claimed. I think the platform is designed in such a way, the Gleam platform, that it's gonna be hard for you to sign up without me being able to contact you. I think there's some sort of sign up with an email or whatever. So that's probably how I'm gonna be able to contact people. I did a Gleam giveaway long time ago, I think in September, for Borderlands 3 game copy, which I got with my CPU. And since then I haven't used it, so I kind of forgotten exactly how it works. But I'm pretty sure there was a way to contact the person. Someone asked me yesterday, that's why I said it. Someone asked what is gonna happen if they're at work at the time of the drawing. But yeah, I'm gonna give people a few days to claim everything. By the way, let me check if I've missed some questions. I'm trying to keep my attention on the game, not to die, and every now and then I check the chat when I'm not in combat. Zerika says people seem to want it to be more like Hades, a game that makes you repeat content over and over, slowly getting upgrades. This game is not the type of game Hades is. It's a Diablo style game. You can't expect a Diablo style game to be like Hades. Hades is a roguelike game. Even though it's isometric and might look like a Diablo style, it's just designed to, the whole point of playing this game and the whole point of playing Hades is different. That's a very unrealistic expectation, to want this game to be like Hades. Hades is probably being a semi-roguelike, roguelite, I think is the term. Being such a game, it's probably closer to Realm of the Mad, what is it, Mad God, Mad King, than Diablo. It's like a mixture in between, like a middle ground. Tyler Wilson says that they're running my Electrode build, just hit level 54 and really enjoying it. Well, Tyler, if you're playing on Steam, on multiplayer, you can join us. We're around your level. My teammate is level 55. We're doing level 57 maps right now, so you would be able to survive. Feel free to let me know if you want. You can use exclamation Steam to pull out my Steam code in the chat. And yeah, many people have been telling me good things about Hades, and if I had it, I would have tried it, but I'm too busy with Torchlight and other games recently. I won't have time to try Hades anytime now. Soon there's gonna be Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm gonna spend some time doing that, probably a few playthroughs, depending on how well the game runs on my PC while I'm streaming it. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop Torchlight. I mean, I spent so much time in Torchlight, so you can rest assured I'm never gonna abandon Torchlight as long as the game keeps getting developed and as long as there's new things to do. The same way the developers won't abandon it as long as there's support from the community. But yeah, Torchlight may be my main game, but I don't play just Torchlight 3. I play other games, like just earlier I was playing, like a week ago I was playing Baldur's Gate 3. And Baldur's Gate 3 I really enjoyed. As an early access game. It had its problems, but it provided me with some fun moments, with some frustration as well. There were some overpowered moments of trying to figure out how to beat a certain fight and replaying it like 6, 7, 8, 9 times, voting, revoting and so on. Are you on Steam? Yes, I'm on Steam. Exclamation Steam is the comment. Exclamation Steam. This is my friend code. You can use this friend code to add me. Electrode Sharpshooter team. Can we get four Electrode Sharpshooters in the same team? This is gonna be interesting. In fact, I'm gonna do something now. I'm gonna respec into the Goblin Legion already. Even if it's just one, I'm still gonna do it. Even if it's just level 1. What skills to focus first? Bandit C. I said it yesterday, I'm gonna say it again. Give me a minute, guys, to explain this. Vitoxin, if you want, you can start your next map, but I'm not gonna join until I explain this. So, at level 2, you put Walkaway Storm 1 point. At level 3 and 4, you don't put points anywhere. At level 5, you put 3 points into Ghost Visage and 1 point into Chaotic Strikes. The next points you keep pumping into Chaotic Strikes with maybe putting 1 point into Targeted Strikes. You wanna remove the points from tight grouping probably. And then once you reach level 10, you would wanna put 1 point into Sacrifice to Goose. And then start saving points for Lightning Strike. If you save your next 5 levels, you're gonna have 6 points between 10 and 15. So that means after spending the 11 point, you can save the 12, 13, 14, 15 and the second point from 15 into Lightning Strikes. After getting Lightning Strike, you save the next 5 levels, total of 6 points with the bonus point for Royal Shasta. After getting Royal Shasta, you can go back to pumping Chaotic Strikes. And eventually, once this is maxed out, you can probably start getting things like Tingling Sensation for chance to shock. If you miss it from your gear, you can get this as 1 point. You also need this one at level 21, 1 point 1000 volt burst. It's gonna take you a long way. Eventually, you won't revolt 1 point. I forgot to mention this. As soon as you can, put 1 point into revolt, and eventually you would want to put more points into revolt. But yeah, up to 25, that's kind of how it is. After that, of course, you would wanna squeeze more out of each of those skills I mentioned. I'm gonna go quickly respec. And test how it's gonna play out with goblins. Oh, I can't go to my own fort, really? Oh, there we go. You added me on Steam. Okay, let me quickly accept this. Friends. AK-47. Yeah, now we should see each other in the game. And Frutivo MVP says, good to see that you keep your promise of playing Torchlight 3 and make a lot of builds. Yeah, of course. And you're following my builds on my page. Nice, thank you for that. Baba Yaga is saying, sorry, best difficulty to start the first hero. Thank you in advance. So Baba Yaga, Ridiculous really does help you learn the game, but if Ridiculous is too much for you, you can always switch down. If you want to challenge yourself, Painful is also a good difficulty. If you want things to be easy, you can always go down to hard or normal, or even practice. But if you want, try to see the harder difficulty, see how you like it. If it's too difficult, you can always go back to character selection and change it. Okay, I'm gonna remove a skill. I'm removing Lightning Barrier, and I'm putting Goblin Legion. And I'm removing the Storm Driver. Actually, yeah, let's remove Storm Driver. Should I remove the Leo Drake? Let's say I remove the Leo Drake. Put Bone Walker. Remove the Storm Driver and put... ideally, I would equip a Bone Walker and then I would put Bone Razor there. Where's that rifle? So I need to max out the goblins. Okay, I'm ready. So this would be interesting to try. And we used to play Grim Dawn, that's nice. And that is definitely nice. Does it matter if you use Bone Walker or Razor? Yes, it matters. It only works if you use the Bone Razor. Because look at how Bone Razor works. Bone Razor only works if you have Bone Walker equipped. It empowers Bone Walker. It's not gonna empower Bone Walker if the Bone Walker is not equipped. At least that's how it used to be, unless they changed it. I will test it. Once I get a Bone Razor, I will test it for you. But it used to not work if the Bone Walker is here. It only used to work if the Bone Razor is here. Clemmer Nava says, I've never played this game before and created my character on Ridiculous and I'm level 20 with no problem so far. On top of that, you get better drops yeah, you don't get better drops, but you get more drops, which results in better drops. So you're right. You do get better drops, not directly. Not directly, but you still do get more good drops. First of all, there's more champions. More champions equals more XP. And on Ridiculous you get more fame. More fame means faster contract levels, which means more rewards from contracts. You also get gear work, which again increases the number of items that drop. And by increasing the number of items that drop, you increase the number of dice rolls. You know, every time an item drops, the dice rolls for the rarity, whether it's gonna be green, white, blue, orange, and yeah, the more drops, the higher the chance of a legendary being one of those items. So yeah, Ridiculous is definitely more rewarding. Oh yeah, AK-47 is asking if he can join. Let me try and invite you from the friends list. I think I'm gonna need to put my Steam offline and online again, because it's not letting me invite you, which is strange. Oh, now I'm not in a team. Okay, I'm gonna have to invite both of you guys. AK-47, I'm not sure why I can't invite you. And Marwan is back. Did you beat both those games and already Kingdom of Amalur? Yeah, I beat both Kingdoms of Amalur, Re-Reckoning and Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate was quick to beat. Quick, reasonably quick. It was like 25. No, actually, it took me around 30 hours because I was taking it slow. And welcome back, Terry. And Decapitator says, did you notice some strange legendary drop behavior? My 60 does find shit, and my out seems to rain. Yeah, there's a little bit more. There's a little bit more drops in the story zones. I noticed in the story zones I get more, and I noticed in co-op I get more drops. And Quaus is saying sup to you, Quaus. Andreas is saying I play a similar build to you, but with lightning shield and no goose. It's pretty good, and don't like the adventure skills apart from Scout's Bones and Ghost Visage and Shasta. Well, keep in mind with Goose you're making the enemies take 30% more damage with tier 1 Goose, and you get 10% cooldown for skills. 10% cooldown for things like Revolt. But yeah, customization is nice, and Bacon excites me. A very nice name, Bacon excites me as well. Welcome to the Struck Club, thank you for the follow. So keep that in mind, 50% extra damage to taunted enemies and 30% extra damage when they're vulnerable. With the tier 1 bonus, that's a total of 80% more damage. This is why Goose is definitely a great skill, but it's acceptable to sacrifice Goose. No pun intended, but it's acceptable to sacrifice Goose and take a different skill. But Shasta you definitely wanna keep on any build. And Marwan says, are you gonna play Fates Won the Ammo War expansion, or did you not like? I like the game a lot, and if there's a new expansion I will play it and test it. Uh, 1.5 second standing skill. Maybe I haven't noticed that it's 1.5 seconds, but again you do it once before the fight starts. But again, everyone's free to make different builds, and that's the beauty of the game. You have a lot of freedom, and just changing one skill and another is not bad. AK-47, I'm not sure what's happening. I can invite him now. I see him online. Vitoxin says BRB food, so me and AK-47 can maybe do something until Vitoxin is back. I'm not sure what's happening. He doesn't seem to be joining the team. Maybe I should leave the team and rewalk. I'm gonna go back to the title screen. Maybe the problem is with me switching on and off my Steam friends list. Oh, look at that. Where am I? Where am I? Okay. I was in the Abyss. I was in the Nether Realm, which is still work in progress. I've been trying. Terry the Tank says I've been trying a few classes out, and I'm going to make Realm Master with Electrode my main. Okay, I'm still here. Okay, I'm gonna restart the game and restart Steam, because something's definitely happening on my end. So let me restart Steam. Not sure what was happening, but well, let's see now. Okay, Steam has restarted. Starting the game now. Selling me AK-47 is online. Okay, let's see now. Hopefully it's fine this time. Okay, I'm gonna try and invite first. And I can go to my fort. And Andrea says, how do I get legendaries? I mean, I haven't got a single one from challenge 60 to 120, not a single one. I would say stop doing Fazir's dungeon and go to Acrid Plains. If you want legendaries for the Legendarium, not level 60 legendaries, I would say go to Acrid Plains and just do a few runs. Clear the whole Acrid Plains, walk out, clear it again, walk out, see if that works. Do it 2-3 times. Another thing you can try is maybe Bugswat Burrow, but it's a small zone. I've noticed yesterday I was helping one person level up. And I was doing his story on my level 60, and believe me, in like 3 hours I got like 6 or 7 legendaries. You need level 60 legendaries? Well, you have to wait. There's something wrong with the Fazir. I think there's something wrong. Try to play multiplayer, because right now when I was playing multiplayer it was fine, and I got a few drops today. There weren't level 60, honestly, they were like level 56, 55, 57, but it was still better than nothing, so I at least managed to get items for my Legendarium, because normally there are certain things you wouldn't want legendary. Like in most builds, the weapon, the chest and the leg armor, the pants armor would be blue. Maybe even the boots would be blue. And you can swap the chest. If you have 3 pieces of the set, you can swap the chest and still get the bonus. For this build I will be wearing the chest, because I don't want to wear Infectious Shooter or Rifle of Leadership or the Bone Razor. I will be wearing the Bone Walker though, when I find a level 60. AK-47, we can do your maps if you want. We can do AK-47's maps, and you can use the team chat. You don't have to type in my stream. I can enable my voice chat if you want, so you can hear me in-game without delay, and you can mute my stream if you feel like it. Just let me know. Let's see, voice capture gain. I think it needs to be like that. Is the voice chat working in game? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the voice chat in game is working. It's probably push to talk for me. Let's see, key bindings. No, it's not push to talk. Huh. Okay. I'm not sure which one I need to select. Let me check my stream for the stream. Voice meter output, VB audio VIO. So it was this one. Well, I'm not sure if you can hear me in game. If you can, let me know. Maybe this needs to be lowered, or maybe it needs to be on the other side. Maybe it needs to be here. Interesting. Well, I have no idea what I need to do with this, but in any case, we can just play. Oh, you can hear me in game. Okay, you can hear me in game. That's good. Because I can't see that you're hearing me. But yeah, in any case, let's go. Let's go in your fort and do your maps. Or if you want, we can do my maps. I don't mind either. Oh, you've done some nice decorations here with this thing. I like what you've done here with the Mana Guardian. Oh, you're at 68? That's nice. If you can find some gear wookie maps, that's gonna be great. We can do Fazir. We can do Fazir because Fazir has 50% gear wookie. Or we can do Portos. I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's Mapworks or Fazir. Mapworks give you 25% gear work. Fazir gear wookie maps can give you 50%. So you're probably gonna wanna do the 50% ones, unless you have 50% golden scrolls. And why not a legendary weapon? You cannot live bound a legendary weapon, and legendary weapons don't drop with good flat damage. So you're never gonna be able to get as much DPS on a legendary weapon as you can get on a blue one. You can get a blue one with only flat damage, like this one. 8.4 thousand flat damage on a one-handed. You can get 9,000 on a one-handed if you get Wookiee with high roll on either of those stats. So you can get like 10,000 on or 11,000 on a two-handed in theory, if you get the socket and all of those things. And Wesley B, high struck, nice YouTube upvotes. That's a lot of content. Thanks, and there's more to come. There is is that some sort of a that's a train. That's a flaming train build. Nice. That's a very good synergy for the train, by the way. The flaming build. I was wondering what my next hero would be to level up. I was thinking of making a Bane train build, but this time to focus on the train and not on the summons. Because people kept asking me what the old meta used to be. So I might try and make something like that next, we'll see. But trains and flames used to be my jam when I did trains back in the day. In the alpha there's a build called Train and Flame, which I made some time ago. And I think I have a Train Flame build from like a few weeks ago, just a different name. I forgot the name. Blazing Conductor, something like that. Blazing Train, that was the name of the build. What's the skill that calls lightnings down? There's multiple skills that can call lightnings down. This one is probably the one you're referring to, Lightning Strike, but Localized Storm can also call a lightning down. And so does Chaotic Strikes. In fact, Chaotic Strikes calls multiples, and so can be the Storm Driver Bow. The Storm Driver Bow can also call it. I've removed those though. Nice. So those Goblin Gunners actually do work pretty well. They do trigger Lightning Strike as I expected. I can't wait to get the Bone Razor and to get some Musketeer pieces and get 10 Skeletons and 9 Goblins into the mix. And I wouldn't mind considering removing Goose for that new Greatsword that's coming. There's that new Greatsword that's coming that would let you summon 9 Goblins, but it would need to take a skill bar SWAT. So if you put that Greatsword in the Legendarium, it would be nice because that would mean I wouldn't need the Bone Razor Bomb blocker for skeletons, and I can just use more goblins. and I'll just need to replace a Goose, for example. But with the Bone Razor, Bone Walker and the Goblins and the other Goblins, it will be amazing, especially if I add Simon and Bijou from a pet token. And with the Herman, with the Archer from the Musketeer Gauntlets, when I have two of those, doing tight grouping, it will be pretty fun as well. Then I might switch to a tight grouping build, so that I can upgrade the tight grouping, which gets auto-cast by the summons, because I think they cast an upgraded version of it. But I've noticed in the Fazir's dungeon and in Mapworks it seems to drop a lot of recipes, legendary recipes. And they're filling up the inventory so much. I wish there was an option to stop dropping recipes that you already learned. I mean, they turn into powder, so it's not entirely bad. But the consumables inventory gets filled to the brim. Popcorn Kangaroo, I hope you kind of figured out which skill is the one that falls from the sky. But the one you see the most is Lightning Strike, the passive. The thing is, the other skill, Walkaway Storm, looks kind of the same. By the way, what cars is he using? I'm assuming he's using flamethrower and shotgun, most likely. Or am I? Yeah, he seems to be using flamethrower and shotgun. That's the classic. Flamethrower, shotgun is the classic DPS train combo. I hope they would fix soon Revolt so I can do triple Scout's Bones. Imagine how strong it will be if I can do Scout's Bones, then do Revolt, then do Scout's Bones, then do another Revolt and do a third Scout's Bones. It would be just amazing. As long as they fix Revolt to actually reset the cooldown of every single adventurer skill. Not just the summons. It only works on the summons right now, on Shasta and on the Goblin Legion. Let's see. But yeah, it's nice that we're stacking the vulnerability from Blasting Charge with the vulnerability from Goose and with the vulnerability from Taunt, making enemies take more damage. Oh, actually, they don't take more damage, I do more damage to Taunted. I don't think my teammates would do more damage to Taunted, unless they made it so that your teammates do more damage to Taunted as well.
Your pack is full.
Okay. I don't think anything worth it dropped, but let's check the chest just in case. Musketeer Powderons or Pantaloons, that was the Pantaloons. The one item I really don't need, the Pantaloons, but at least it's level 60. But it's HP, really HP, and crit chance and gold bug. So out of 4 stats, one of them is good, the other ones I don't need for most builds I'm making. HP probably I might need on an HP build with Cold Heart if they increase the HP you get from Breaking Point. With the current amount of HP we get from Breaking Point, it's just not worth it to go for an HP build. Stacking defenses is much better. Stacking block chance and evasion, again, much better than stacking HP. Should we do some Fazir? Gear Waki 50% map on the Fazir. If you see one of those, it would be nice to try and do it.
Your pet has returned.
I'm hearing the portal, but I'm not seeing it. That's pretty weird. Maybe I'm hearing something else. Okay, there we go. Angered Ancestors, okay. The Angered Ancestor, they kept changing this. At one point the Angered Ancestor was one-shotting people. Then they nerfed it, and now the Angered Ancestor kind of can float. It can float, it's like a ghost. Because it's supposed to be a ghost, so it can float. Oh, it's 2 of them now, because it's 2 of us. Alright, let's see this. Angered Ancestors very bad for my build, because I need to stand in one place. But I'm gonna just try and be more mobile and avoid. But it's right where the wood is. There we go, got it. It's fine, we can do it, we can do it. Normally those guys are slow. If we manage to somehow push through, they're not gonna catch up, but it's a siege map, so pushing through is dangerous, because in the end we're gonna be leaving ourselves vulnerable to so many sieges. Might be a bad idea to try and rush it. After all, we're here to get drops, and we can't get drops unless we kill stuff. So better not to rush it. Ah, so much stun. Where is the tree? I can't see the guy who's stunning. Ah, I'm gonna run out of potions. I've got 9 left.
It's a trap.
Fuck it, I'm not gonna pick up this blue item.
Cast that spell.
I'm gonna try and pull them away from there. They're quite quick, 30% extra monster speed on high with drones.
Cast that here.
You died? Where? I can try and res you. Or was there no res in this one? We can do something easier. We can, as long as it's level 60 map, we can always do something easier. But is there no way to res you in this one, in the Fazir?
Can't cast that here.
Alright, I'm gonna go back to your fort. We can do another one. Let's try something without Angered Ancestors, because Angered Ancestors is slowing my DPS. I need to move too much. And when I'm moving, I'm not DPSing. Well, I'm still DPSing because of Walkaway Storm and the summons. And the projectiles, but still. Something that's between 18 and 30 would be nice. As long as it's over 16 as a map, as long as it's level 60 map, so over stage 60, 16. When you're farming, you're trying to complete maps quicker. So the quicker you complete the maps, the better you will be with farming. Unless you really want to push. I mean, if you want to push, we can push, but if you want to farm legendaries, it's probably better to just pick an easier map. As long as it's gear wacky. I'm gonna go buy potions though. I've only got 3 potions left, so I need to buy potions. But you can enter and I'm gonna teleport to you. This is why hey, shit. I forgot to talk about my most important thing in my review. The potion system. I forgot to list the potion system as a con in the game. Well, I knew I was gonna forget something when making my review. 54 minutes of a review and I forgot the thing I care about the most. The bad potion system that I wish would change. I'm gonna at least try and update the text version later on Steam. Okay, teleporting. Yeah, the potion system. I forgot to talk about that. I mean, it's okay, but it's outdated. It seems a little bit not perfect. It could be so much more. It could be a healing skill, and you can have a healing skill slot, and you can just unlock different healing skills as you complete certain quests in the story. And you can just switch them freely and just have a cooldown on that skill. Some of them could heal more, some of them could heal less, some of them could have healing over time, some of them could have resistances attached to them, or defenses or whatever. Some of them could give you damage. I mean, there could be at least 10 different healing skills they could come up with. They can still keep it a potion, but just to give you more potions and to have one slot, you just pick between all the potions which one you want. and just have it on a cooldown. It would be so much more fun, similar to Chaos Bane, but without needing to sacrifice your skill points like in Chaos Bane. Alright, let's see this. Vitoxin is asking, is train build better than your build? Well, depends on what train build you're doing. I mean, there can be very strong train builds. By the way, if you want, we can invite you and you can play with us. You can just teleport to me once you join Vitoxin. You press your portal button, press the portal button, then find the person and click on that person that you want to teleport next to, and it will port you. And nice to have you back. Welcome back, Vitoxin. They can be Electrode train builds, they can be Bane train builds, they can be Burning train builds. I mean, there's definitely some strong train builds. The Bane train build used to be very strong. I'm not sure how it is right now, but I still think it's pretty strong if you do it the right way, where you're focusing on the train rather than the summons. My Bane Doctor was not such a build. It was a build where I'm focusing on getting different types of summons and stacking those. But I think my next playthrough will be a Bane train where I'm focusing on the train instead of the spiders and the other things. Okay, arc powered helmet. There we go. And here it is. By the way, are we all three here? Are all three of us here? But yeah, train build and the tier 3 bonus of the train car, I can definitely confirm it's pretty decent part of that. Less defense now, so I might end up having trouble, but let's see, more Goblin Legion stuff. I need to get away from those traps and flamethrower car is amazing though, yeah. Vitoxin, it's saying that you're here, but I'm not seeing you. It's weird. Oh no, I'm seeing you, never mind. I'm blind, I'm body blind. But yeah, let's see here. Let's see. Oh wow, 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 I can't see what's happening, but there were so many things proccing. It seems fun, with 3 of us it definitely seems fun. It's challenging enough, the way it's making things harder, based on the number of people playing. Let's see, which boss are we gonna get? Probably some sort of automaton boss. But well, I got one legendary drop in this map. Definitely not a bad one. He got melted. Okay, let's see here. But yeah, someone earlier mentioned about Fazir not feeling rewarding. I'm totally with you there. First, but wanted to shout out. Sorry for missing your message first, but definitely shout out for you whenever you want it. I'm actually even doing something like shout outs in videos now for my YouTube members from something I recently enabled on my channel, the YouTube memberships. So if someone really wants shoutouts, I can do those at the end of the videos, the actual videos I upload. But yeah, let's do some more. Did anyone else get some legendaries? I got one. This one, dark powered helmet. Oh, and the pantaloons. I think I actually got 2. Did the pantaloons drop with the previous map? Maybe it was the previous map where I got those. Oh, and what pet bonuses are we all using? I'm using Defender. Or am I using the crit one? I'm probably using the crit one. Okay, someone's using Defender. Someone's using the crit. I'm gonna use increased awareness then. So we can have 3 different auras. Oh, AK-47 has to go. Alright, AK-47, thank you for teaming up. We can go do Vitoxin's maps again. We can push him to 60. Vitoxin, let's go to your fort. And thanks for stopping by, AK-47, War 187. Shasta's Promise, I mean, it's probably very decent if you stack it with certain other things. Damage-wise, don't expect it to do much. But the healing of Shasta's Promise can stack very well on Blood Drinker builds. where you have healing from other places. It can also stack very well with Dryad's neckband. If you have a Dryad neckband with faster cooldown for pet active skills and attack speed bonus for pet basic attacks, and then you get more cooldown or more pet basic attack bonuses, you can get something very decent, because the more it attacks, the more it heals. So the faster it attacks, the faster the healing. So it could work well. It could work well with the right stuff. Normally I prioritize Dryad neckband as my item to put on my pet, and then I try to look faster cooldown for pet active skill. I put the pet healing active skill, healing friendship, when I have it. And yeah, then I try to put faster pet attack speed so he can trigger Dryad neckband quicker and more often. And this can stack well with Shasta, with other healing. Okay, we're using... I'm gonna use this one. Give us defense. He's doing the crit one, I'm gonna do the defense one. As pet auras. Nice. So many Volcanic brutes in this map. But yeah, you're looking at two Electrode Sharpshooters in a team, so it's double the lightning. It could be a little bit too flashy and it might hurt your eyes. That's why I think they need to kind of consider replacing this effect. It's so flashy. It just hurts my eyes when I play Electrode builds, but I love Electrode builds, and it hurts even more knowing that the builds you enjoy are so flashy on the screen. I'm never a fan of flashy skills that constantly fill up the screen, unless it's something like this, like Scout Bones. It fills up the screen with stuff, but it's not too flashy. It doesn't look like those lightnings falling from the sky all the time and blinking with blinding light. So I hope they consider changing it similar to the Stormblade lightnings. But look at all the strikes. What are we doing? We're doing double HP maps. Oh. Oh, so I can res him. It's not over when he dies. I can still res him. Hope he didn't lose something valuable as a weapon. I really wish they would rework the adventurer skill system, so you don't lose the bonus of the previous skill when you use the new one, but retain the remaining charges. then you would be able to use certain adventure skills one after the other and then unleash all those bonuses at once. And Kurjada or Kurhada, oh, Kurjade, sorry for mispronouncing the name if I did. He said he or she just bought the game. Well, how are you finding the game? Did you start playing? The game really has some things that are much different than what you can find in other games. So it's not everyone's cup of tea. There's a lot of people that love the game and a lot of people that are on the polar opposite. It's mostly Torchlight 1 and 2 fanboys and Diablo and Path of Exile fanboys who don't like the game. But people with more of an open mind can see the potential and the depth in this game and look past the bad things. Atrus911, thank you very much for the follow on Twitch. Welcome to the Struck Club to you. Hope you're enjoying your stay. And it's okay, yeah, okay is pretty good explanation for what this game is. It's okay, but okay for me is enough as a game to launch. Because how many launches have I had of games not being okay? I've had games that have been under okay. For example, Warhammer Chaos Bane didn't have that good of a state when it launched. Wosen had certain things being okay and other things being as broken as it gets. And the XP rates are the main reason why I stopped playing Wosen. I just can't play a game that takes this long to reach max level as Wosen did. David Allen says, hey Struck, what legendaries do you have swatted for this build again? It's not finished. Keep in mind I'm missing one legendary swatted. Rifle of Leadership, then you would want Infectious Shooter as well for those poison projectiles. So you want Rifle of Leadership, you want Goblin Infectious Shooter, and you want to wear the Bone Walker, and in this slot you want to put the Bone Razor. So if you put the Bone Razor here and you're wearing a good rolled Bone Walker, you can get 10 skeletons. 10 skeletons and up to 9 goblins if you level up the Goblin Legion. Keep in mind I'm missing legendary items. I don't have the Musketeer set. I need 3 pieces of the set. I will actually sacrifice damage from my chest. I will sacrifice this flat damage from this chest, which I very rarely do for builds. Normally here I keep a blue item for the flat damage. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sacrifice this damage and put a Musketeer robe. I'm gonna put a Musketeer helmet and Musketeer gauntlets. For the summons from the gauntlets, for the skill points from the chest and the skill points from the helmet. Because the alternative option would be wearing a Bone Razor or Infectious Shooter or Rifle of Leadership. Actually the rifle is not possible to wear, because that would mean not having the Bone Walker, which would break the build. But yeah, I would have to wear the Bone Walker and either wear the Bone Razor or the Infectious Shooter while swatting the other and then swatting the chest. And it's just not gonna work that way because I'm gonna lose much more DPS if I swat a weapon and not the chest. If I wear a weapon and not the chest, I mean. Okay, the next map seems to be ready. I'm just gonna send the pet to sell and disenchant some stuff. And Tyler says, how often do you use your Wifebound scrolls? I haven't been using them, but do you use them on all weapons? No, I only use them on my main weapon. This is how I like playing. Some people use them on everything. It's personal choice. I'm not a fan of the current Lifebound system, so I only use them on a weapon and only if I have a backup. I have a weapon that does 8500 and 8600 as a backup. And I have 3 different weapons that are equally good. So I got very lucky to get this many good blue weapons with this much attack. It's not that easy, at least it didn't used to be that easy before to find such stuff. But it's up to you when you use it. I mean, I can tell you how I use it, but I'm not saying what I do is meta. In fact, it's probably the opposite. Most people would probably use Wifebound Scrolls on all their gear and wear more blue, especially if you're wearing blue chest. I mean, if I had a spare one like this, if I had a second one like this, with that much flat damage, I probably would have Wifebound it to squeeze extra 200 damage or 160-70 damage flat. Whether it's worth it, the risk, I mean, why not? Why not if I had a spare? Let's see if I missed. But yeah, on Wilson's launch, too much OP shit, too much exploits in multiplayer, duping and whatever you wanna see. And they just their biggest mistake of Wilson Studio, the biggest mistake of Wilson Studio is they're inexperienced when it comes to launches. They didn't expect this much success in regards to how many people would buy the game, and their biggest mistake was releasing content that has never been tested outside of internal testing. I can tell you what was not tested with Wilson in the beta. Act 2 and Act 3 were never given to beta testers. The third ring of the passive 3 was never given to the testers. 16 out of 40 total skills never given to the testers. What else? The endgame system, Stormfall's thingy, was never given to the testers. The max level of the endgame was different, so there were so many stages of the endgame that were never tested. There were just a bunch of other stuff like some items I think that were new. In general, they made a mistake. They made a mistake with Wilson, and Torchlight 3 did exactly the opposite. Justin Rampage, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you very much for the follow on Twitch. Welcome to the Stroke Club. See, Torchlight 3 did exactly the opposite of Wilson. Not only did they allow us to test all types of content in early access, they also did a test server for another layer of testing before the masses in early access got that. And not only did they do a public test server, they did a private test server where me and I think a bunch of other people, like 15-16 people in total, were given access to things before they even made their way to the test server. They actually even held Google conversations. They had video calls where they would show us screenshots and footage of things that are to come into the game and ask us what we think. They did this for the Fazir's dungeon. They showed us a preview and asked us what we think, whether we can give them some feedback. They did the same thing for the Relic subclass change. They asked us for some feedback before they announced the changes to the rest, what we think needs to change, what we like, what we don't like. So, see, if Wilson did something like this, it never would have had the bad launch it had. It was a successful launch financially, even including the refunds, but they were just not ready. They were just not ready and they were just rushing. Whereas Torchlight 3 did the opposite. They took their time, even though the game might seem like it lacks content, and it does lack content for endgame. It does have a lot of other things that are very polished, that have been tested, that have been reworked based on player feedback from early access and from alpha and from beta. So yeah, Wolsen wasted such a nice opportunity. It had a few hundred people playing beta before launch. Those few hundred people, even if 20-30% of those people tested the stuff before launch, it still would have been enough to give them feedback to find broken things before Wolsen launched. But what's been done's been done. As long as the Wolsen devs realize what people don't like about their game and remedy this, it would be nice. In fact, I read that the Wolsen devs are looking to communicate with content creators and community members to help them test stuff the same way Torchlight 3 did. So good luck to them. I will return with the first Chronic to see if they change the XP rates. If it's still so slow to level up in Wolsen, that would probably be my last try to give it an end chance. I've given it many chances because I've played Wolsen since its very early Umbra days. And I really liked the original idea. I didn't like what they turned the game into, but I still gave it chances before launch and after launch on Wolsen. Torchlight 3 for now is my favorite ARPG if I don't count Grim Dawn, because Grim Dawn is probably my favorite alongside Torchlight 3. So I like Torchlight 3 and Grim Dawn more than Path of Exile and more than Diablo 1, 2 and 3. And more than Sacred and more than Darkstone and more than Dungeon Siege and Titan Quest. And yeah, this game, I'm just seeing the potential in the game, how it can grow with new classes and new subclasses, with new items, with new endgame modes. This game has a very fun combat system, very nice dynamic combat. And Scrunchy Cake says, yes, sadly Grim Dawn has one of the most toxic communities. Oh, maybe I'm not that familiarized about the toxicity of communities, but Grim Dawn has a lot of people modding it, and Grim Dawn has one of the most fun endgame activities in a game for me. I also give kudos to Grinding Gear games for all the different types of endgame activities and content and all the different gimmicks of every league. Even though I don't enjoy playing Path of Exile, I do have a lot of things about it that I have liked when I played it. And they're experimenting as well. You gotta give them credit for coming up with weird leaks every 3 months or 4 months or whatever. And Grim Dawn has so much stuff to do. If you've never played it and you can get it on a sale, if you wanna save money, and you get it on a sale, it's gonna be a steal for the amount of content and build variety and replayability you can get, especially with mods. There's one mod, I don't know the name, that my brother plays, where you farm tokens. You farm some sort of resource. I don't know the name of the resource and the mod, but you farm some sort of material, and then you go and use that material to buy legendaries instead of getting the legendaries from drops. Which is, in my opinion, this is one of the best systems as drops. If I were to make a game, that's how I would make it. You wouldn't get the items as drops, you would get materials that you take to the NPC to make you the weapon, the legendary weapon. You could consider it crafting, you could consider it tokens to use to buy the item, because that way you're disabling some of the negative parts of RNG. That way you're guaranteeing, okay, I'm gonna kill 20 bosses, and when I kill 20 bosses, I can go and exchange my materials to craft myself the one legendary item I want, instead of relying on RNG just to give me the legendary item I want to get from 20 kills. Sometimes you could do 100 kills and still not get the item you want. So I like such systems. It might seem a little bit too easy and boring to some people, but I like this. It's simple and it's a powerful system. if someone were to make something like this. Mitra Tudo, interesting name. I hope I didn't mispronounce it too bad. But thank you for the follow and welcome to the Struck Club to you as well. Now I'm gonna quickly after this map check some comments, because I've definitely missed some comments. I try to do it in between maps when I'm not dodging hits. Tyler said, have they commented on the random just dying bug in Torchlight 3? I've seen some clips of people dying, and it seems like it's an annoying bug, and I haven't experienced it myself, and I also don't know if they have commented on this. So I can't tell you about this. Scrunchy Cake, well, I find leveling in Torchlight 3 ridiculous prior to 20 to be tedious for most classes. I mean, it depends on your build. Some builds would have a very hard time before 20, especially if you're not Sharpshooter, or if you're under-geared Disc Mage or under-geared Forged, and if you're not focusing on relics, you might have a very hard time. And Kurjade, thank you very much for the follow as well. Bandit CI 81 says, I only wish this game a little faster on later games movement, I mean. Here I probably might disagree, because I'm not a big fan of the gotta go fast mentality in games, where it's all about speed running and doing the map within like 2 minutes or so. But again, different people can want it differently, and I like how they're not spawning all the enemies immediately, so you can go and do the map quickly. You can still do a map quickly by skipping and not killing stuff, but you can't just kill the whole screen with one screen, move 2 meters away or move 10 meters away, kill the next screen. You can do this the same way you do it in Chronicon, for example. But yeah, I wouldn't mind a little bit of extra movement speed, but not clearing speed. And someone says, your accurate planes tip was golden. 5 runs, 4 legendaries. Finally got the rifle for my legendarium. Still need a level 60 bomb walker. Yeah, accurate planes. Accurate planes is a very good place to farm legendary items, low level legendary items, to fuel up your slots. And I'm very excited for Diablo 4, but I've learned my lesson when it comes to Activision, and I'm not gonna set my hopes too high. I'd rather set my hopes low for Diablo 4 and get pleasantly surprised. But I will be streaming Diablo 4 and I will be making content for Diablo 4. I'm looking forward to it, believe me. JJFX says, finally caught you live streaming Torchlight 3. Bought it on PS4 on Tuesday and it's but glitchy, buggy. Okay, I'm happy to hear you're enjoying it. You wish you had higher FPS like PC. I'm wondering why the FPS is not that good on PlayStation 4. This game is not that demanding. And howdy Justin, howdy everyone who wrote on the chat. Again, sorry for missing some comments. I can show you what my screen looks like if you're wondering why I'm missing some comments, just so you can see why I can't reply everything. Just gonna show you quickly. So this is kind of what my streaming setup looks like. See, I've got the chat here and I might miss some messages. I've got some chat here, and yeah, this is kind of it. So yeah, if I miss your message, I'm gonna do my best in between maps to reply. I'm not sure if you saw everything with my display shown, but in any case, I'm ready for another map and my teammate is already there. I caught up to the comments. And I do like RNG in those games as well. Believe me, I do like RNG. I just don't like RNG for certain things. I like min-maxing my item the same way I can, for example, in Diablo 3 go and min-max certain stats. I can keep re-rolling until I get the higher row of a stat. I don't mind this. I don't mind having to re-roll multiple times something. And certain things I like finding as drops, but again, I like finding... I wouldn't mind a system where I can find resources and then exchange the resources for the item I want. There's still gonna be RNG, whether I'm gonna find the resources I need. But again, this is just my personal preference, and I've said it multiple times that my way of wanting things in games is vastly different than probably 95% of the people who play such games. My taste is just different. I'm more of a casual player, and I'm a person that doesn't want this big of a challenge than most people. I don't play games to challenge myself. I play games to have fun builds. I play games to chill, not to have a hard time and to pull my hairs because I can't kill a certain enemy. I'm not the kind of person that would want to play something because it's difficult. It's in fact, if it's too difficult, I rage quit and get discouraged. That's how it is. So, casual Care Bears like me, we exist. We exist. This is a gauntlet map, so we need to stick together and keep pushing. By the way, where is my teammate? There we go. He's here. But I know how different people want different things, and I understand it. That's why there are so many different games being made in this genre. I can't wait for a good sci-fi ARPG isometric Wooter to come out. I was very disappointed from Inquisitor Martyr, even after all the updates. Whenever I returned to that game, I just kept getting more and more disappointed. And hopefully someone makes a good sci-fi ARPG hack and slash isometric Wooter. It doesn't have to be in the Warhammer 40k universe, it can be in any type of universe. I would like to see I would like to see CD Projekt Red try and make an isometric Wooter game. Maybe in the cyberpunk universe. What would that be like? I mean, those guys definitely can deliver when it comes to story and choices driven consequences matter kind of games. But yeah, I would like to see what the person who used to work in CD Projekt Red and now is in charge of Diablo 4, Sebastian Stepien. I hope I didn't mispronounce his name, but I want to see what Sebastian Stepien would do with Diablo 4. The guy was in charge of the creative department, I think, in the Witcher series. So he was in charge, I think, about story and all of that, and art, I guess. I think he was just a team lead of the creative department or whatever. I don't know the exact position, but yeah, if they gave him enough creative freedom in Diablo 4, him and his team probably can do something amazing. If Activision and Blizzard are not meddling too much with the creative aspects. I know with Diablo 4 many people have written in forums that they don't like the attack and defense simplicity system where you just have attack and defense. But I mean, I'd rather wait and see how it is. So far, what of the stuff I've seen from Diablo is nice, but the stuff we've seen from Diablo is mostly from only one act, and it's mostly from one quest line. We've seen footage from just that one quest line in that one act. So I can't wait to see more from the other acts from Diablo 4. By the way, who here has played New World, and what do you think about New World? Which MMO does New World remind you of the most? Because from footage I saw, it seemed very familiar in the way it plays to Guild Wars and Elder Scrolls Online. That's what, just as a viewer of other people's content for New World, that's what it looks to me combat-wise. When I saw people playing mages and things like that, It just felt like watching Guild Wars and Elder Scrolls Online one way or another. I was wondering if I should try and pick up the game when I find free time. Maybe I should just give it some more time before I do. I've been looking for a good MMO, I really have, but lately it's been one disappointment after another in this genre. It's like in a decline. Tyler Wilson, the only reason why you don't get items, it's a bug. The reason why you don't get items, it's a bug, and we need to report those. They have fixed a bunch of those. They have fixed a what? Believe me, there was a time where I would be stuck because all my choices were shitty and I couldn't progress it and I wouldn't get enough items. And they fixed that. That was what early access was for. But there were still some leftovers. And they tried to make a system where the further you go to the end of the map, the better the chance of those quest items dropping. They called it dynamic quest drops or something like that. So if you don't get lucky at the beginning of the map with quest items, you should be getting more lucky at the end, but in some maps even this doesn't help still. I've noticed that if you don't pick up the quest drops immediately and let them stay on the ground, it drops more. I've noticed that that's it, but even with that sometimes it's just buggy. And you might need 6 bones and only get 4 bones, and there's no more things to kill. Look at my projectiles flying. And what did I miss? Nef123, thank you for the follow as well. Sorry for saying it this late. Welcome to the Struck Club if you're still there. Really appreciate that follow. And enjoy your stay. And if anyone wants to join us, we're doing level 60 maps. So if you're level 54, 5, 6, etc. or 60, you should be able to join. I think if you're under level 54, you might have a hard time, unless you stay a little bit back and try not to die. But I think after level 55, 6, you should have plenty of defense to be able to survive and not get 2-3 shots. Unless you're severely undergeared. But we've got room for 2 more people, and the more we have, the better it is for everyone, I guess. This is a Gear Wookie map, by the way, but the problem is the Gear Wookie, it doesn't matter because it's a gauntlet, and the gauntlet is in any case 100% Gear Wookie at the boss room. So gauntlet maps work like this. You don't get drops, only life-bound scrolls, but the enemies respawn, and if you need to level up, you can stay in a gauntlet map for an hour or whatever until the game starts lagging. You can get 2-3 levels worth of XP if you stay in a gauntlet map and rotate from one spawn point of one hotspot. I like to call them hotspots. Places where a bunch of enemies spawn, and you can just rotate between one and the other, or maybe have 3 and rotate between the 3 of them. But yeah, gauntlet maps, remember that while you're leveling up and doing Fazir, they're great. Alright, there we go. Oh, so many enemies. Just obliterated so many goblins. Goblin Slayer Sama will be very proud of us. And what's happening with that second season of Goblin Slayer? I wonder. They made that movie in between the seasons. I can't wait for the second season of this show. Alright, I'm ready for the boss fight. Oh, V-Toxin is 58. So let's do it like this. Put the damage reduction field, summon the Skelly Man and the Gobos. Come on game, give me my Bone Razor. I want that Bone Razor. Or a Musketeer item. Helmet, chest, rope or a hat. Come on, rope or a hat. Although most of the drops I get in this game are not from bosses. Honestly, most of the legendary drops are from trash tier enemies, from the most basic enemies. That's how it has been most of the time. Oh, he got Musketeer gloves and a Woods Beast chest. Grats. Grats to you, dude. I guess he got it. He got it from probably one of them was from the boss, the other one from the chest. So as long as I'm seeing people getting wood, I feel good because I know eventually the dice will roll for me. So it's good to know that at least it's dropping and they've resolved those drops. But playing a team, definitely. It's much better if you play in a team. In fact, I keep forgetting to do the most important thing, to donate to his Tree of Luck, so I can get a Gear Luck buff. In fact, he can go to my fort and donate to my Tree of Luck to get 300 seconds of Gear Luck if he wants to as well. Maybe we can take turns. Few maps in his fort, few maps in my fort, if he wants the buff. If you want the buff, let me know. We can do a few maps in my fort later. For your build, well, if you're following are you following my current build or the electrified? I'm pretty sure you got the gauntlets, and for the electrified, I still use the gauntlets. Basically, how I do electrified is I use the helmet, the musketeer helmet, the musketeer gauntlets, and one more item. It could be shoulders, it could be boots. I don't suggest chest, and I don't suggest legs. You want damage, and you can't get damage on a legendary chest or leg armor. For my build, I would be doing something different, and I would be going for a legendary chest and blue legs and probably blue boots and probably skittering shoulders here, or arc powered shoulders here. Either of those would be fine for this SWAT. And I will be going for helmet, rope and gloves as legendary. But for the electrified, you can see I've written in my guide kind of how I suggest to go on about it with those things. By the way, Wifebound scrolls can also be a source of gold. If you really don't need them, you can sell a stack of 20, and that's 20 times 60 gold, so it's not too bad. Oh shit, I opened the map. Well, we can do this map. I opened it by accident, misclick. Might as well go ahead and do it. Let's just go. It's a level 60 map, so it's not bad. No biggie. But yeah, I misclicked. You never know, it might be our Wookiee map. Even though it was Harvest Wookiee? Was it Harvest Wookiee? I don't remember what scroll it was. It's a scroll that was Gold Rush. Okay, it's a Gold Rush map. A Decapitator. I need. I could use 2 more party members. Use my Steam friend code. Just a moment. Steam. That's my Steam friend code. You can add me. I can accept, and then you can just. I'm gonna see how I can invite you. If you show up on my friends list, I can send you the invite. Sometimes people don't show up immediately on my friends list. It's online. And you might need to restart the game, we'll see. But if you show up, we can invite you, and yeah, the more people the better. Is there a reason why it's... okay. I don't think I've missed any more comments. Is there any use for resources like wood other than making crap for your fort? It's mostly fort stuff. We used to need to craft relics, the tier 3 materials, but we no longer craft relics. Because they're a subclass now, so this kind of changed the way it works. Later on maybe they would make something, maybe they would consider some sort of crafting, but for now we only need them for fort stuff. That's the only thing we need them for now. Oh, you can get buffs. You can also get buffs from salvaging, from gathering certain things. So there's also something. Let's see. And die. Oh, I'm gathering something. Let's oh wait, there's a chest here. Can't wait for reload to get fixed so I can cast multiple Scout's Bones one after the other. This would be such a DPS boost for this build and for any other Infectious Shooter Electrode build or Infectious Shooter Flaming Destroyer build as well. Any build where you have procs that you want to trigger with the Infectious Shooter, once they fix reload to reset the cooldown of Scout's Bones, you're gonna be able to do this, reload, do it again, reload second time, do it a third time. So doing 3 Scout's Bones one after the other with the Infectious Shooter would be such a DPS boost for proc monster builds, as I like to call builds like this one that get a lot of damage from different procs. It could be relying on Firestorm and Magma Burst. It could be relying on the poison one with Spread of Death, which is kind of underwhelming because it's only 1 proc there on that relic. But that relic, the Bane, is not about proc monster builds, it's about pet builds. It could be Rupture, which is again still only 1 thing proccing, but it's not bad. But yeah, the Flaming Destroyer and the Electrode are the best for proc monster builds. So this build has some sort of a decent counterpart in the Flaming Destroyer relic. It's not gonna be as much about the procs there, and it's gonna be with the Flaming Destroyer um, a bit more AoE damage with Blazing Pillar and stuff. Especially if you have the pants that allow you to get relic energy back.
That spell.
But yeah, I like some of the items that they've given me to put in my Legendarium as options and to wear. There are so many interesting ways to build. And I can't wait to taste the basic attack version of this build. My skeletons are getting hit. Insano added me. Okay, let's add him. Let's accept the friend request. Okay, let's see if I see you in the game. I'm assuming that's the Decapitator. So I see him in the game. I see him in the game, but okay, that's interesting. It's not letting me invite. Oh, that's him. He's in the team. Never mind. Never mind. By the way, Vitoxin, you asked where is your guide. Which guide did you ask about? My guide, which guide? A guide for what? For this build, for another build? How you can port press Z or whatever your portal button is. So here, and you have to click warp 2 and the person. This is the best way. Instead of warping to the fort of the person, you can just warp to the person itself. Remember to give something to his tree of work. Remember to give if you have a blue item for 16% gear work. Before we run the map. I don't mind switching to someone else's fort. If Vitoxin wants to benefit from the gear work, I wouldn't mind being the one that doesn't get it. Whoever is the host, whoever is inviting people to their fort won't be able to benefit from that, because I guess it just doesn't let you. By the time you go to someone else's fort and give an item and come back, it's probably gonna take like what, 30-40 seconds or so. Percent targeted strikes or Scout's Bones. You're not using Scout's Bones for the damage that much, you're using it to proc. So I would go percent targeted strikes. Percent precision skills or percent targeted strikes would be what I would want on the electric sharpshooter, the electrified. And thank you, Wharton Mercilius, for that. I hope you were asking for this guide. struckquip.xyz is my website. Make sure it's HTTP, not HTTPS, because well, I don't have a, I don't have a, what's it called, the SSL certificate. So yeah, if you type HTTPS, it's probably not gonna work. I need to figure out. I'm not a web developer, so it's simple site, don't expect much. But yeah, Vitoxin, that's where the build is. If you are asking for the build for the electrified sharpshooter, it's on my YouTube channel, Struck TLF, but it's also there. And the newer version of all my build videos, the newer versions, with slightly updated screenshots are on my website. I will be updating every single guide very soon when I'm done with some content I have planned. I will go and add leveling up steps. At level 1 do this, at level 2 do this, at level 5 do this, at level 10 do this. It's coming, I've got a lot of stuff to do though. But yeah, I'm ready when everyone is. And Ward Mercedes says, hey mate, where can I find your build? My build? You won't be able to find it yet, but you can find something very similar. You can look for the Electrified Sharpshooter. Electrified Sharpshooter on my website. But I wouldn't suggest leveling it up with those skills. I would suggest leveling up with Targeted Strikes and Chaotic Strikes. Chaotic Strikes is a very, very easy peasy way to level up Electrode builds. So if you pay attention I will say the things you need to invest into. Hopefully I don't miss it. I kept saying it multiple times yesterday and today I'm gonna say it again. I might have to write it down and just give it to people. I'm gonna do it tonight after my stream. I'm gonna write it down for this build. But at level 2 you get this. At level 3 and 4 you do nothing. You save your points. At level 5 you put 3 points into Ghost Visage, 1 point into Chaotic Strikes. Maybe you could put 1 point into Targeted Strikes at level 6. But ideally you wanna move the point from Tight Grouping and put it here. Then you start saving your points, maybe put some points into Chaotic Strikes, but ideally you wanna get Revolt with 1 point at least, and eventually you wanna max out as soon as you can Lightning Strike. So at level 11 start saving points, and until level 15 from 11 don't touch anything and put all the points into Lightning Strike then. And then from level 15 to 20 save all 6 points. 6 because you get 2 points at level 20, then put them in Warrior Shasta. Maybe get 1 point into Goose, you would want 1 point into 1000 Volt Burst at least, and then later just start leveling Chaotic Strikes, Tingling Sensation, things like that. But that's your important first things first kind of points. You wanna max level Chaotic Strikes, you wanna get 1 point into Goose, 1 point into Revolt, 1 point into Targeted Strikes, and you want 5 points into Lightning Strike. Those are some super important things. Shasta tier 2 is super important as well. So yeah, hope this kind of gives you an idea for the first levels. Chaotic Strikes by itself is a very fun build to level up with. It's a little bit risky because you have to be kind of close range, but it's worth it. It's worth the risk. I'll write it down. Tonight after my stream I'm gonna update my guide online. And I'm gonna write it down, and I'm also gonna write it down under my build video on YouTube for people to find that information. So I'm gonna do a step-by-step guide for the first few levels, where to spend the skill points. Probably for the first 40 levels, I guess. After that, it's flavor. Who would wanna put points into this or that first? But yeah, for example, if you decide to go Onslaught, you're better off not taking Onslaught until later on. until you've got certain other things leveled up. It's just not as easy, and it's dangerous to level up with Onslaught because it puts you close range. Close to mid-range is what it puts you. And you're more prone to dying if you're using Onslaught in the early levels, because if you want to stay far, targeted strikes is better, explosive arrow is better, tight grouping is better if you want to keep your distance and use your range. Even scatter shot is better, but scatter shot's a level 20 build, you can't start with it. Whereas targeted strikes is a level 5 skill, and yeah, it's just super quick to get it, and it's probably the best level 5 DPS together with chaotic strikes for an Electrode Sharpshooter build. I don't think we can go in. Oh, there we go, I went in. You've put one into Onslaught, Vocalize Storm, Scout's Bones, Ghost and Goblin Legion first 5 levels. Oh, keep in mind I didn't switch into Goblin Legion until recently.
You can't cast that.
But Goblin Legion is not bad. I mean, I will have max level Goblin Legion eventually for this build. Because this will not be my Electrified Sharpshooter, this will be my Stormcaller Summoner build. That's the name I've decided to take. But until I get a few more items, it's not gonna be ready. As I said, I need certain Musketeer items. By the way, White Vault Cavebreaker used to be broken, and it used to trigger procs. It's a proc, and procs can't trigger other procs, but this used to trigger other procs. In one of the Mayhem Mondays, I wrote it in chat, and Michael fixed it. But yeah, it's not a strong item, but it's an okay item until you get something strong. You shouldn't start again. You can just save Respectacles. If you messed up something, you get certain things called Respectacles, and eventually you can spend those Respectacles to remove skill points from a certain skill. It's not a problem. Okay, the next one is ready. Let's see if I've missed some messages. If I'm on hardcore or normal, I only play normal. I definitely just my mind can't handle dying in hardcore. My mind can't handle losing progress. It's just something for me. I just can't enjoy losing progress. I've tried playing hardcore in games, and it's just not my kind of thing. But I have a newbie guide. If you're looking at my beginner guide, I made a newbie guide yesterday, updated, new. So yeah, it's 3 parts. I made it into a playlist even. The ultimate newbie guide. So my old extended beginner guide, which was 1 hour and something, now has been replaced by this ultimate newbie guide, which is up to date. It's 3 videos, one of them is 40 something minutes, the other one 30 something, the other one 20 something minutes. So it's actually longer than my old guide, because there's more stuff to talk about. When I made the old guide, there was less stuff to talk about. You've been using Egg of Mayhem. Egg of Mayhem is the best thing you can do for chaotic strikes. I call those builds Mayhem builds. And they're great. Sword Smash, Chaotic Strikes, and Spinning Blade are good. Frost Blast and Venomous Maw not as good, but still decent. But yeah, Egg of Mayhem is a must-have. If you have it, use it. It's better than not using it, believe me. If you have it and you're using Chaotic Strikes, there is no reason not to swat the Egg of Mayhem or put it in your equipment slot for a focus item, for an offhand, whichever works better for you. Of course, not everyone would get it early in the game, but if you get it early in the game, even if you're not doing Chaotic Strikes build, you might want to consider it, because it's gonna make your leveling very easy with the Egg of Mayhem. To those of you who are wondering what Egg of Mayhem does, is each relic, each subclass has a relic attack, such as Sword Smash, Venomous Maw, Chaotic Strikes, Frost Blast and Spinning Blade. And when you cast one of those, it can cast any of the other 4. So when you're using Chaotic Strikes, it can, every time you cast, 100% chance to cast another one. So it could be a Venomous Maw, it could be Sword Smash, it could be Frost Blast, it could be Spinning Blade, but every time you cast Chaotic Strikes, it's casting one of the other relics equivalent skills. I call them Mayhem skills because of the Egg of Mayhem. And that's why I call those Mayhem builds. And I have Chaotic Mayhem and I've got Smashing Mayhem builds, which can be reworked on any class. You can take my Realm Master Chaotic Mayhem build and just rework it for any hero that's not a Realm Master, and the same for my Smashing Mayhem forged build, and you can rework it to any other class, just looking at the relic parts and just feeding the rest to your preference. Okay, this one suddenly from 70-80% HP went down to 0. Are all 3 of us Electrode Sharpshooters, or am I seeing something? This is a lot of damage on this this enemy. And where you use Respectacles, basically you need to go to your fort. So you need to go to your fort. And then you craft a skill station. I can't show you right now, but you need to make a skill station, and it's under functional, I think. It should be under functional, and there's 4 skill stations, 1 for each class. And the Sharpshooter skill station looks like this, and you would get Respectacles from bosses and from boss chests and even from regular drops. And when you get the Respectacle, it goes into this inventory, this thing. You use it, and then you can go to a skill station, and you would see on the top right corner of the skill you want to remove a point from, you would see a button. When you click that button, it looks like this symbol here, this red star. You click it, it removes 1 level from the skill, and it takes 1 Respectacle. I already have 38, so that means I can remove 38 skill points before I run out. So eventually you're gonna be swimming with Respectacles. You get 1 Respectacle every 5 levels while leveling up as well. Or at least that's how it used to be. You also get them from contracts. You get those from contracts as well. As you level up a contract at certain places, you would see Respectacles. So yeah, I love all the questions. Let's see if I missed something. I don't think I've missed anything. Oh no, Mr. Palladium says I've been using Egg of Mayhem. Okay, I didn't miss this. So I didn't miss any chat. Interesting. I missed some chat in the game though. What pet hour should I use? He's at 18.4. He's with a 2-hander. 18.4, definitely doable. Standard Tight Strike Electrode build. For pet auras I'm using Defender, by the way. I'm not sure what the others are using. What's happening? Are we fighting? Am I alone in this map? The dank crawl space of trouble. Celti is in a crackling spiral. Oh, they're in a different place. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the fort and teleport to them. I think there were 2 different portals opened. While I'm here, might as well do this. Oh, it's a boss map. But yeah, I'm using the defensive one as an aura. You can use whichever one you want. One of us needs to be using the crit chance, I guess. We don't have the movement speed, I assume, unless someone managed to unlock it. It's a little bit rare to get the movement speed one. Nine 5k damage staff. Yeah, it is a decent staff. 9.5k. I think with two-handed weapon, if you're super lucky with a meta drop, you can probably get 10, maybe even 11,000 on a wife-bound weapon. And that's two-handed. But it's gonna be difficult to get a two-handed weapon with enough flat damage and with a socket that you can get as a flat damage. Keep in mind this damage here depends on your crit chance and crit damage. So if you get your crit damage to 300, this will definitely go up. If you get your crit chance to 40%, this also would go up. But on a sharpshooter you don't need to get it to 40%, because this caps you at 40% for the next 3 precision skills after using it. Or 4 if you have the item that makes it 4. There's 2 portals on top of each other that I'm seeing here, by the way. Which map are we in? I'm gonna teleport to them to avoid going into the wrong one. Shriekbeak, nice. Nice. Someone said X Rapid 420 access. Is there multiplayer yet for this? Cause yeah, there is multiplayer. There is multiplayer and single player. You can pick which to play, but if you pick single player, you can never play multiplayer with a single player hero. The saves are wacko if you play single player. So if you want to do multiplayer, make sure you create your hero in the multiplayer, because they're separate progression, separate character and account progression on the multiplayer and single player mode. So if you're planning on playing co-op, make sure to select multiplayer. You can still play solo when you select multiplayer, but you can't go and play with others on a hero that's saved on the machine locally with the single player. It keeps telling you that you need patch for multiplayer and it's not showing any patch or update. Well, that's interesting. Let me quickly check on Discord if they wrote anything about this, because you never know. Let's see. Announcements. Hotfix update. Xbox One minor patch. What could that patch be? Let me quickly read that patch to see what it could be. Quick, okay, general logging to help server crash, okay. Yeah, I'm not reading anything about multiplayer. You know what, I'm gonna quickly check something. If you're not a member of the Torchlight Discord, you might wanna join it and try and ask someone there. They might have the information, but I'm gonna try and give you the link. I know I have a command for it, but I can't remember whether it's Discord Torchlight 3 or Torchlight 3 Discord. I'm just gonna quickly check what the command was. Just a moment. What is the damn command? Command Discord TL3. That's the command. Alright, Discord Torchlight 3. Did my YouTube people receive this? It's basically discord.gg/play Torchlight. This is the link. You can try there and ask. Someone should be able to answer the question. Maybe a moderator would know already if there's a problem with multiplayer. But yeah, I'm ready, by the way. And Bandit CI81, thank you very much for the quick input. So yeah, I guess if this happens, just restart. That seems to be the fix that Bandit is suggesting. So restart Xbox and there is a patch. Good to know. Thank you very much. Good man. Good man providing the information there. So hopefully it works for X-Rapid and he manages to play. Wait, where are we? Okay, I see where we are. Wait, when did my inventory get full? Okay. Oh, it's this place. Look at all the procs. All the fun procs. Legendary Grats. Hope it's a good one. I'm hunting for 4 specific legendaries right now. I need Bone Razor. Chronometer, it's not a bad one, but yeah. Normally I haven't found much use for the chronometer on endgame builds. I don't need to spam this much revolt, that's what I mean. But I can see it happening on a build where I'm spamming Scout's Bones. So I can use it 3 times in a row and then maybe quickly try and do it another 4th time. So there could be something out there on a targeted strikes version of this build to keep spamming Scout's Bones with the chronometer. I need Bone Razor, I need a Musketeer Rope, Musketeer Hat and Musketeer Gauntlets or Gloves. I think they're called gloves. Some are called gauntlets, but I think the Musketeer ones are gloves, if I'm not mistaken. Those are the 4 things I need. Once I have those, I will be ready to make the build. Once I have those things. But yeah, if you need items for the Legendarium, my advice is go to Acrid Plains in Act 2 and do a few runs. Kill some stuff when it's empty and there's not much stuff to kill, maybe revoke and go again. If you just need items to fuel your Legendarium, not items to wear. There's a lot of elites, a lot of champions there, and it drops decently. In all the story zones, it doesn't have to be Acrid Plains, you can pick another zone. Just Acrid Plains from all the story zones is my favorite one for farming in such a way. It would definitely help you fill out the Legendarium with some powers. I got my Infectious Shooter yesterday, helping one of the Struck Club members on his story, so I was helping him with the end of Act 1 and the beginning and middle of Act 2, and while doing that for 3 hours helping him, I did get like 6 or 7 legendaries or so in those lobby zones. Of course, most of them were repeats, like I got Storm Driver Bow twice, I got 2 Musketeer Shoulders I think, and I already had one from before. And I got, what else did I get? I got the Lil Drake, I got the Infectious Shooter, and I think I got the Skittering Boots and one more thing. But multiplayer is definitely more rewarding. And Craig Drag says, hey, what do you think is the best build for Sharpshooter? Well, I'm not the right person to ask for best build, but I can tell you builds I really enjoy. My Electrified Sharpshooter build on my YouTube channel is something super nice, but it's not that easy to level up with that specific build. Earlier I mentioned if you level up an Electrified Sharpshooter, you can level it as a Chaotic Strikes build. So focus on Chaotic Strikes, on Lightning Strike, on targeted strike, and on what was its name? I wanna see something here with this one, by the way. And let me just check it. So first, at level 2 you get 1 point here. At level 3 and 4 you do nothing. At level 5 you put 3 points here. Then you also put 1 point here, and then you start putting points into this. Maybe put 1 point here and 1 point here at the first time you can, and eventually at level 10 you should be able to have enough points to max this one out. No, at level 15. At level 15 you should be able to max this one out, and after level 15 you save your points, put them into Oil Shasta, the 6 points between level 15 and 20, and after level 20 you just start filling the build. You start pumping more points into Chaotic Strikes, 1 point into 1000 Volt, points into Tingling, but Chaotic Strikes is the way you want to level up Electrode builds, and Electrode builds are fun. They're fun on the Sharpshooter. So again, the key important skills would be Targeted Strikes, Revolt, Chaotic Strikes, Lightning Strike, 1 point into Vocalized and 1 point into this at first, and eventually maybe more later. And once you're done, once you're ready to switch to a different build, you can remove the points from Chaotic Strikes and put them elsewhere. I wouldn't suggest putting Scout's Bones until you get the Infectious Shooter item, or until you have enough points to make sure you get max level Scout's Bones. This one is not that build I'm talking about. This one will be a summoner build. So it's like a different version of the Electrified Sharpshooter. But again, my Electrified Sharpshooter and my Combustive Sharpshooter are two builds I wouldn't mind recommending to people. Other builds I would recommend would be a Bane build with the train, or a Flaming Destroyer build with the train, or Electrode build with the train. I mean, all my Electrode builds are fun, and I have 5 Electrode builds, or I think 6. I have 2 for Realm Master, 1 for Sharpshooter, 1 for Forged, 1 for Dusk Mage, and I'm not sure if I have another one. Maybe it's 5. Yeah, White Volt's Infectious Shooter and Musketeer. White Volt's Cavebreaker used to be great when I made the build for the Legendarium. Now it's not that good because White Volt Cavebreaker cannot trigger Lightning Strike. And it doesn't do much damage. Before, when I recorded the video, it worked in a different way because they put... what was happening is they attached the skill that White Volt uses on the item instead of the skill that's meant for the item. They fixed this, or at least I'm assuming it's fixed because Michael said he fixed it in one of the Mayhem Mondays when I brought this to his attention. I told him that my White Volt was doing more damage. I told him it was doing more damage than my basic attack. And the White Volt Cavebreaker is supposed to do 30% damage, and the basic attack at this time I was using was a pistol, so it was 90% damage. And it was obvious difference on my dummy, how my pistol does less damage than White Volt. So he fixed it, and he attached the right skill, and that means it now shouldn't trigger procs. Because it's a proc, and procs are not supposed to trigger procs. It's still not a bad item to use, but I would suggest testing something else instead of the White Volt Cavebreaker, if you have some other options. Although there aren't many things I would suggest, but Arc-Powered Shoulders, Skittering Shoulders, Liu Drake if you're using Sacrifice to Goose, worth testing, worth considering instead of the Cavebreaker. But the Cavebreaker is still not bad. AK-47 is back, let's invite him. We have a full team. I've got like a few more minutes. Let's do one more map, guys, before I can go. Because yeah, it's 24 minutes past 10 in the evening. So let's do one final map, and then I'm gonna have to stop the stream. but more stream tomorrow and more content from me tomorrow. I've got 1 or 2 videos depending for how many I'm gonna have time, but there's gonna be at least 1 more video in the sort of guide, hints, tips and things like that. I'm not gonna say exactly what, but I've got some things planned for tomorrow to upload on my channel. And if I manage to gear, actually I can stay play with you folks, that the people who are in my team, I can stay and play even after I stop my stream. I just have to stop speaking because I've got some family visiting, and since they're sleeping in the room next door, my voice is very bassy. You can hear me 2 floors up. So yeah, my voice is pretty bassy. You can hear me through walls. So let's finish this final map of the day, and then I'm gonna stop the stream, but feel free to ask me questions. Even if the stream is stopped, you can send me private messages on Discord, and when I see them I can reply them, or comments under my videos or whatever, if you have some questions for builds. I will make guides eventually under my builds, under my build guides on the website. I would add another section regarding how to level up the build. But I have some other things on the to-do list, and those need to be done first before I can start updating the current things on my website. We have 4 sharpshooters. 4 sharpshooters with the electrode. We got the team. Instead of the wide wall cave breaker, you can use skittering shoulders for survivability. You can use for damage arc powered shoulders. You can use other things such as the Lil Drake. The Lil Drake is not bad. You can even try using Shasta's Promise if you feel like it does anything. I don't feel like it does much damage, it's more for the healing. And it might stack well, but I'd suggest try the Lil Drake, or try the... if you're not using arc powered shoulders, it's a good thing. Also be advised, arc powered shoulders, skittering shoulders and the woods beast shoulders will change, and instead of triggering when you use 1000 volt burst or the other relic big skills, you would have to put it on your skill bar and use it on demand. It will be something with a cooldown that goes on your skill bar, so there will be changes, and all those builds I would have to make some notes on those when this change goes live. Because most of my builds use all the skill bar slots, and many of my builds suggest to use either the arc powered or the skittering shoulders, and it's a good thing because it adds more variety, but it also ruins certain things that that work right now the way they do. So it's a win in some cases and was in other cases. But yeah, instead of wide vault, there are certain things to consider. Yeah, if you want to teleport, press the portal and it would open up a menu where you can click on the human to teleport next to one of the people. Quadruple Electrode Sharpshooter, that's what you're seeing right now. Oh no, actually no, War is the Realm Master, I forgot. Still triple Electrode Sharpshooter and a Flame Train, Blazing Train build or whatever. So we're gonna be stacking some stuff. Now we have Busting Charge in the mix. I'm assuming he's using Busting Charge on the Realm Master to stack vulnerability with our vulnerability. That's the good thing about using different heroes. You can stack Sonic Pulse with Busting Charge, with Goose, and with Consecration. Consecration is not vulnerability, it gives everyone damage, but this is the squeeze the most damage out of a team setup. Have one of each. Sonic Pulse 40% extra damage. Then there's Goose 30% damage when upgraded, Busting Charge 30% damage when upgraded. That's a total of 100. And if you add Consecration and if you have pets and things, and you all stand in the circle, the Disc Mage would be destroying stuff if everyone is in the circle. But even without concentration and a Disc Mage, it's still gonna be strong. And each of those classes, for example, the Forge can get extra damage to Burning, 25. Shasta gives you, as a Sharpshooter, 50% damage to Taunted. The Realm Master has 65% extra damage to Stun, Sword or Blinded, which is only applied to that class person. But yeah, there's good things. Alright, so I'm gonna stop my stream now, but I will keep playing. To those of you in my team, I'm gonna stop talking, mute my mic, but I can use the chat, we can keep playing. So let me check if I missed some comments before. Crack Drake says, thanks mates, overall Electro, but the Disc Mage. Well, Electrode and Flaming Destroyer are good for damage. If you want healing and survivability, pick Blood Drinker. If you want summons and survivability, Bane. If you want an underwhelming relic, but it can still be fun, and with Ice Shield it can still do some damage, the Cold Heart. The Cold Heart is kind of underpowered. On paper some things are good, but in practice I've tested them and they're not as good. But again, keep it in mind. So thanks again everyone for watching today on YouTube and on Twitch. Again, keep it cool until next time, and goodbye from me.